Hello my lovelies, welcome back. I'm really sorry I take ages making every video, but here we go. I'm going to discuss now today how I came out to my crush. So through 3 years ago, when I was 40, I realised, despite being married to a man, that I'm a lesbian. And after 6 months of kind of sitting on it, I finally told my husband. And then the next thing I wanted to do was to ask out or tell, or I'm not really sure what I was thinking, the woman I had a crush on that made me realise I was a lesbian. So I decided I was going to send her a text. So when people of my age kind of think that, I don't know if anyone else is the same, but I tend to think that when it's something big and important like that, the right thing to do is do it face to face. But I don't know if anyone really thinks that anymore, or I'm just really old-fashioned. But also, I didn't want to put her on the spot and for her to say yes or say no and feel awkward, and say yes if she didn't want to. So I decided it was going to be a text. So she had previously just mentioned before that she doesn't really like going out socialising, and she'd not shown me any interest whatsoever. The reason partly that I wanted to ask her was I just kind of wanted to kill the hope. So if she, and I assumed she would say no, that would kind of kill the hope and really help me move on. So that's partly why I wanted to do it. And also it was just like really bugging me that she thought I was a straight married woman. She had kind of no idea what was going on, so that was bugging me as well. Okay, so I sent her a text and said, do you want to go out for food or a drink sometime? And she replied extremely quickly. That was probably like the worst part, where she replied really quickly. And it wasn't quite fully a no, but it certainly wasn't a yes. It was kind of like not at the moment, maybe at some point later on, which I kind of felt like was a polite no. So I took it as a no because it wasn't a yes, and that's fine. That was what I was expecting, and in a weird, painful kind of way, it was what I was hoping, so that I could pick up and move on. And so, yeah, it was painful. Like, obviously, the feeling of rejection, sadness, kind of like despair for a while. I think I took myself away to like a nice hotel with a swimming pool for one night. It's just like an hour away, but it felt like a little mini holiday and a change of scene. And I probably wasn't like in the best mood for being with my children during that 24 hours. So it was probably best for all concerned. And that was kind of helpful. So I think the fact that she'd said no left me with nothing left, kind of thing, to focus on outwardly. And then the only option I had was then to turn inwards and look at myself, which is what I should have done all along. But she kind of held that mirror up to me again. And so I was forced to look inside and, for the first time probably, ask myself, why on earth, when I was 15, did I decide, when I thought I could be gay, did I decide, no, I'm not going to be? And I know I'm definitely not alone. There'll be lots of other people who did that. But also there were lots of people who didn't, and there were lots of people who were able to come out and be their real selves. They didn't bury it. And I'm not nowadays the type of person who would, well, obviously I'm not, because as soon as I realised this time, it was, pretty much a given that I wasn't going to continue the way I was. So I analysed why, and then I started thinking about my relationship with my parents, like what would have happened if I had told them. And my relationship with my mum was not close at all. So I had 2 younger siblings. She had she suffered with depression, and there was just no bond really. Like, she would all endlessly just tell me to go away and play because she was busy. So she looked after us kind of in practical ways, cooking and cleaning, etc., taking us to school, but there was never any kind of real emotional bonding. So I didn't feel like I would have got any emotional support when I came out, if I had come out to her. And actually, and I'll do another video because this one's getting long already, I'll do another video on what happened when I did come out to her. Yeah, okay. And then my dad, okay, so trigger warning, my dad was physically abusive for probably about 10 years of my childhood, very angry and volatile. And I think by the age of 15, he had stopped being violent, but the emotional abuse and the name calling and the cruelty was very much still there. And although I don't think he was particularly homophobic necessarily, if he knew I had an insecurity, he would have very much used that against me. So that's why I didn't feel like I could come out as a 15-year-old. So I guess the good that came out of my crush saying no was that I did look inside, and now I have the opportunity to heal from all of those things that weren't ideal about my childhood. So I'll make more videos, definitely, for sure, about coming out to my parents, and also like how I analysed the childhood trauma and how I've been dealing with it. Yeah, okay, that's probably enough for today. Gosh, this must be my longest video yet. It's nearly 7 minutes long. I hope that was helpful in some way. And if you have maybe gone straight into a new relationship and skipped the step of maybe thinking about why you didn't come out at a younger age, if you knew when you buried it, or you never were able to acknowledge it, like you had no idea in the first place, I would still recommend, even though you probably feel really, really happy and settled, I would recommend thinking about it and looking at it and making peace with it, so it doesn't kind of pop up at a time when you're triggered. And of course, if you haven't got into a new relationship yet, maybe have a think about this now, so that you're in a really good place, like as healed as you possibly can be before starting a new relationship, and then it will go off on the strongest footing it can, and you'll be as secure as you can to make that relationship work.